in one of the most unexpected twists in hip-hop history. 42 Dugg has allegedly revealed to Big Meech that not only has 50 Cent been running a calculated smear campaign against him, but Rick Ross, yes, the same Rick Ross who spent years beefing with 50, has secretly joined forces with his former rival to take Meech down. According to the leaked conversation, Ross has been playing the long game, acting as if he's on Meech's side while waiting for the perfect moment to turn against him. This revelation shakes up everything we thought we knew about hip-hop's biggest rivalries and exposes a level of behind-the-scenes betrayal that no one saw coming. If true, this means that two of rap's most influential figures have been working together in secret, united by one goal: getting revenge on Big Meech. To understand how insane this is, we have to go back and break it all down. For years, 50 Cent and Rick Ross were locked in one of the most vicious rap feuds we've ever seen. It wasn't just about diss tracks. It was deeply personal. 50 dragged Ross through the mud, attacking his credibility by exposing his past as a corrections officer. He even leaked a sex tape of Ross's baby mother just to humiliate him. Ross, on the other hand, never backed down, continuously taking shots at 50 and positioning himself as the boss that 50 could never be. So if these two hated each other so much, how the hell did they end up on the same team? That's where this story takes a dark turn. 42 Dugg, during his phone call with Meech, reportedly let it slip that Ross and 50 had long since squashed their beef behind the scenes. But instead of making it public, they kept their newfound alliance quiet, knowing that they had a bigger target in mind: Big Meech. According to Dugg, Ross has been playing his cards carefully, pretending to be cool with Meech, showing him love, and even keeping the BMF name alive in his music, all while secretly plotting to betray him when the time was right. And let's not forget, Ross has always positioned himself as a BMF affiliate. His 2010 hit BMF, Blow Money Fast, literally used Meech's name and hook, and for years he's spoken about Meech in interviews with nothing but respect. But if what 42 Dugg is saying is true, all of that was an act. So why would Ross do this? That's the million-dollar question. And the answer might be tied to something way bigger than rap. Let's be real, Meech was one of the most powerful figures in the streets before his empire came crashing down. His influence stretched far beyond Atlanta, touching Miami, Detroit, and beyond. Ross, who has always wanted to be seen as a street boss, may have had his own reasons for wanting Meech out of the picture. Maybe there were unresolved issues from back in the day. Maybe Meech didn't co-sign something Ross wanted. Or maybe, just maybe, 50 Cent offered Ross something so valuable that it made him willing to turn on a man he once publicly supported. Think about it. 50 Cent is one of the most strategic and calculated figures in hip-hop. He doesn't just move, he plots. And if he saw an opportunity to get Ross on his side, you better believe he took it. It's possible that 50 used their past beef as a smokescreen, keeping the public distracted while he and Ross were quietly setting the stage for something bigger. And the scariest part? Meech didn't see it coming. According to Dugg, Meech was completely caught off guard when he heard about Ross and 50's secret alliance. He had no idea that the man who had been shouting out BMF in his records was actually working against him. And that's exactly why this betrayal cuts so deep. Now, let's break down what this means for the future. If this leak is real, Ross's credibility takes a massive hit. He built his entire brand around being a boss, a street legend, someone who was connected to the real ones. But if he was secretly plotting with 50 to take down one of the most respected figures in the game, then everything he's ever said comes into question. Fans are going to want answers. The streets are going to want answers. And most importantly, Meech himself is going to want answers. And what about 50? Well, this just proves what many people have already suspected. He's always 10 steps ahead. If he really managed to convince Ross to switch sides, then it just goes to show how powerful he is behind the scenes. But at what cost? Because let's not forget, if Ross is willing to betray Meech, what's stopping him from betraying 50 next? That's the thing about alliances based on revenge. They don't last. Right now, it looks like 50 and Ross are on the same page. But for how long? The second one of them feels like the other is no longer useful. The whole thing could crumble. And when it does, we might see an even bigger war break out. But let's talk about Meech